Good afternoon. It is the Everton Daily Live. The manager has just done his pre-match press conference ahead of Everton's trip to Portman Road at the weekend. It's the 17th of October, Jack. It's 2:15, just so you know. You know what you like.
Yeah.
You know, your final day, you've got to know. What's going to happen when you start your new job and no one goes? Good morning, Jack. It's October the 28th and it's 9 o'clock or whatever.
I'm going to be lost.
You're going to be a bit lost, aren't you?
You're just going to show up
just
one
text
day.
Me. Say, Baz, what day is it?
I'll just be like, oh, Merry Christmas. Be like, Christmas?
What?
4th of September.
Baz hasn't updated me.
Yeah.
Just give me a little message and I'll tell you the date. The manager has just done his pre-match press conference. He has revealed, quite surprisingly, that Tim Irabunum is out for weeks with a bit of a stress thing to his foot, which I'm taking as maybe a bit of a stress fracture to a part of the foot. He did say James Garner's got a similar stress. We know Garner's got a back injury, stress fracture in his back or whatever. He's had that before, which is a bit mad. When he first joined Everton from United, he had a back injury for months. They're definitely out. Schmitty doesn't sound like he's getting any closer because he said Breuer will be back before him. Breuer's ahead of him. Patterson, despite playing 111 games and training 12 times, still isn't ready.
It's a weird one, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he played a few games for the under-21s now, hasn't he? He's played a few for them now, and he's got good minutes for them. I understand in terms of, we mentioned his press conference, true match fitness. And, okay, as a concept, you need your match sharpness. There's a difference between being fit, you're not injured, but you're getting your match sharpness back and you're getting back into the flow of playing matches. But that's why players play games with the under-21s. And
train every day.
Yeah, and come in and do a few games with them. So, unless he has had some sort of minor setback or he's feeling a little bit of pain, but we've heard nothing of the sort, have we? So it's a strange one, that. And, you have got to wonder, is it just because he's non-committal towards Patterson? Is he not seeing it in training now he is back? He's not seeing enough to want to commit to him. Maybe he wants to give him a few more weeks training so then he can make a decision on him. I don't know, but it's a weird one, that, isn't it? Because as far as we were concerned, he could have been in contention for Newcastle if we wanted to take the risk on him, but he chose to play him for the under-21s instead the night before. So if he was fit to play that game, theoretically, okay, different level, but he would have been available had we wanted for the Newcastle game. 2 weeks have passed and he's still not available. Haven't been in training with the squad, haven't played minutes for the under-21s, so it's strange. Yeah,
it's a strange one. Coleman, he said, is back on the grass. He's available. Well, said he's trained for a week, been with us for a week, so he'd imagine. But then that contradicts everything about Patterson, doesn't it? So, listen, hey, whatever. Coleman possibly available then at the weekend. Branthwaite, they're not going to make a decision on. Said the next 24 hours they'll see how he is, but they sort of rushed him back for Palace and then he was injured again. He sort of indicated that, didn't he? Have to wait and see on that one. And Jai, I think, is fine. Well, he said he's fine, didn't he? He said he spoke to them before he was allowed to play in the next one. So we'll see what happens there. But it is a very, very difficult game, this one at the weekend. Tazul says it's simple. He just doesn't like Patterson. He's never played them when he was fit. It's something personal. I've just seen one that says it's quite simple. For me, it's win or go. M says if we lose on Saturday, Deitch has to go.
It's a weird one with this game because it is a game that, on paper we should be winning. It's a game that we're hoping to win because it gives us that buffer towards the teams. No disrespect to Ipswich, but it's generally accepted that they will be fighting relegation this season. We want to be above that. Being above that usually means, being better than these teams on the pitch and beating them and getting results against them. I don't want to say people have sort of forgot about the pressure the manager's under, but it has sort of gone away without getting the results to make it go away, of course. We've, gone a few games unbeaten, 2 draws and a win. Obviously, they're getting the draw against Leicester, the win against Palace and the draw against Newcastle, but we're only just above the bottom 3. If we are to lose to Ipswich, it will put us right back in trouble. Okay, it do take still very early in the season, but it reminds me slightly of Lampard, when obviously he doing all right and then he lost the 2 games against Bournemouth in the space of a week, and that really put the pressure on, a pressure that didn't really exist in such a way beforehand. And then obviously we headed into the international break for the World Cup, and the talk was, should we sack him now because it's the break? We don't have that luxury this time round, if obviously we did feel the need to make a change because we've just come out of an international break. And yeah, well, obviously no one's talking about sacking the manager at the moment. You wouldn't talk about immediately sacking a manager after 2 draws and a win and keeping a clean sheet at home against a decent side. I accept that. But it will change the conversation to, oh, in retrospect, maybe should we have made a decision over the international break, when we had the time and getting that sorted. But look, hopefully we'll avoid all of that and go there and win and get a big win and a big performance.
Well, you'd hope so, but it is a tough one, isn't it? It's an absolutely tricky game.
I think much tougher than it looks on paper as well, I've got to be honest. I think with Ipswich, okay, they've not had the greatest start of the season. They're yet to win a game, unlike us. But I don't know, they've got a good mentality, Ipswich. They stay in games. They've came back on a couple of occasions to come back and get a point. They score goals. They've got a striker who's in good form. They've got a good young squad and a manager who likes to get his team on the ball. They're not going to look at the fact that, okay, Everton on paper are the better team. Let's sit behind the ball and try and protect what we have, the 0-0. They're going to come and try and win this game. Okay, they've tried that at times this season. They've been picked apart because they don't have the quality and teams have been able to play through them. We're not a team that plays through sides, are we? So I don't think we can go there with a mentality of, no, come on, we're the better team. This will be easy. These will be scared of us. I don't think these necessarily really fear anyone. And maybe they should a little bit more. Maybe they are missing that little bit of realism in their setup. But their setup is designed to score goals and attack teams and dominate the ball. So we have to go there fully aware of that, not just look at the fact that, oh, they were promoted sides, don't have the greatest squad on paper, most people's favourites or amongst the favourites to go down. The game's not going to play out like that.
No, it's going to be very, very interesting, isn't it? How this one does play out, because they are, got Liam Delap firing, haven't they, at the moment, and brought a lot of players in the summer, spent a few quid. Obviously, really good manager. They all know what they're doing. So it'll be a tough place to go. They haven't won a game this season, but they're in. They're, got 4 points, I think, haven't they? 4 from 6. So it'll be a tricky one. They beat Everton, they go above them. And this should be the game that Everton should be going and winning. Everton haven't won an away game for 10 months, over 10 months now, which is shocking. And we have only won 6 games in 10 months, which again, when you play, and 3 of them are in 6 days, and when you break it down like that, it's atrocious, isn't it? Got to start winning games of football. And I understand people saying, well, if they get beat Saturday, the pressure's on the manager, and I can see people saying get rid of him, and I can see other people saying, well, he has to accept he's under pressure. That's the way it is. But this block of fixtures are ones where you look and go, they're tricky, but they're all winnable.
Definitely.
When we come back after the next international break, there's the odd game, and then there's a really, really tough period of fixtures. And if Everton don't start winning some games now, by Christmas, we could be in real trouble, which means, and I'm not saying we'd go down, because I still feel like the 3 that come up will go, but it means the whole season we'll be fighting relegation, the whole season, regardless. So these next few games are crucial. I think they're crucial for the manager. Yeah,
I think they are. And you mentioned the block of games we've got here. We've obviously got Ipswich away at the weekend. After that, Fulham at home, 5 kickoff. Southampton away on the 2nd of November. And then West Ham away as well before you go into the next international break, obviously. When
it's tricky away games then, by the way.
They are, but I think Southampton, okay, it's away. Obviously, we don't do the best away from home, but, you look at them and, okay, they beat us at Goodison, but that performance should almost set the bar for a level we never drop down to again against their second-string side, by the way. That needs to be fresh in our minds. Again, another side who aren't just going to let you have the ball just because on paper you're the better team. It's going to be massive these next few weeks, because let's say Everton could get 9 points from those 4 games. Yeah. To be honest, I don't think that's an unrealistic ask when you look at those fixtures. that really puts us in a much better place. It'll likely give us a decent buffer towards the bottom three. It keeps us positive going into an international break. And it's points that we need to pick up because, like you say, after that, things do get a lot harder. After that, obviously, Brentford at home. But then after that, it's Man United away, Wolves at home, the Merseyside derby, obviously half-12 kick-off, Arsenal away, Chelsea at home, Man City away. So it's a tough run of fixtures now through the busy December period. And look, if our current rate of injuries is anything to go by, you would imagine it'll get worse in December, but it does for every team. You're playing more football. It's going to be difficult. It is going to be a difficult period, and I think we need to view this run of fixtures as a... you don't want to be writing games off, but you view it as a hibernation period almost, the way an animal might gather its food before it hibernates. We need to gather some points before we go into a very difficult December run, don't we? And, you know, we will pick up points in December, I'm sure we will, and I really hope we get a couple of results in some of those tough fixtures, but you look at it realistically and you look at where your points are most likely to come from, you do yourself a big favour by winning your winnable games.
Yeah, we've got to. The players have got to go out and produce. It's as simple as that. They play the game. I love this one. Joe says, "Hi, Baz, you wake up every morning and say he's won 6 games in 10 months." I say it every morning, every night before I go to bed. I look at the results and piss myself laughing that people tell me it's doing a great job. So do you look in the mirror, Joe, and say, what a job he's doing? Simple. That's all about standards, mate. Sophie says it's a sackable offence winning 6 games in a calendar year. There you go. Look, he's not just to blame, by the way. Footballers play the game of football. They have to start winning games. I'd be embarrassed if I played in our team and we'd won 6 games in 10 months. Absolutely embarrassed. But hey ho, you're allowed to fail as much as you're allowed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you'll do as bad as you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
And once people make excuses, whether that's the manager, the coaches, the players, the fans, once you start making excuses for standards dropping, that's how everything drops. That's just, it's a tale as old as time. So they've all got to start winning games of football. Like you just said, the next block of fixtures are really ones where Everton have got to get... Because if Everton can get a little bit of momentum in these next few fixtures, then we go to the international break. Then after the next international break, you should have really, after the next one, Schmitty back. Breuer available. You'd like to think the likes of Irabuna will be available again then. James, and
do you think Patterson will have his true fitness?
Patterson will still have to prove himself with fitness. No, but you know what I mean? If we can get to the next one and we've picked up a couple of wins in these, then we might be hovering around 14th place and there's a little bit of a buffer. And then if Everton are hovering around, say, like 13th, 14th, by the time we go to Old Trafford and we've got a bigger squad available, then why can't we? United are no great shakes, are they? In fact, what United are
14th.
Are they 3 or 4 points ahead of Everton?
Yeah, 3 points.
There you go. So,
2 wins this season.
Now, who knows? Like, they might win a few in the next, of course, but they're not amazing. It's not a place I look at and go, oh my God, United away. Used to be. Isn't now. I look at West Ham and go, that'll be as tough as United. But that is a game where you look at West Ham and go, they're not great either.
Well, if we are to get 9 points over these next 4 games...
Bloody hell, yeah, that'd be party time, but yeah, go on.
But that would most likely put us above Leicester. United are down there, but, okay, no, they're in a mess, but with their squad, they should be aiming for a similar points tally. Would likely put us above Bournemouth, could easily put us above West Ham, especially because we play them over that period. Brentford's at 11th, they've only got 10 points. Could they do better than 4 points over their next 4 games? Who knows? So it would put us in a very comfortable position. Looking towards the bottom 3, it probably would give us a buffer of at least 5+ points over the bottom.
And then all you're playing then is you're just playing match day results, and you've still got that buffer. Do you know what I mean? It takes and we've been here before, haven't we? I remember me and Ped sat in here in I think it was the COVID, it was when Carlo was here. And I remember, in fact, we were on the couch, we were probably socially distanced. And we were going into December and we had everyone. We had Arsenal, Chelsea, teams like this. And people were saying to us, no, get nothing. We are getting nothing. Leicester away. We're getting no points. And we were going, doesn't really work out like that. And I think Everton ended up coming out of it. I don't think Everton lost the game until New Year's Day. I think West Ham beat us at home, which was a bleeding against the run of play. Souček scored with about 3 or 4 minutes left, and we should have buried them. And yet we were second. We came out of a run of results going, oh my God, we've done it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah,
We've done it where you look and go, we're getting nothing there, and all of a sudden it doesn't play out like that. The same as you now looking at this block of fixtures and going, we could easily get 9 points.
Course.
And we come out of it with 2. So,
and even looking at, obviously, the late November and December run of fixtures, even though we are playing a lot of good sides in that period, it's never as simple as, oh, well, they're better, so they'll win. We're better than them, though, so we'll beat them. You look at it in a rough way, don't you, and try and work out, what you should aim for and what's acceptable. But this next block of games, it is key, and it does need to be discussed because that's the next international break. And yeah, if we don't get the results over this period, and look, will the takeover be sorted by then? Who knows? Things could move very quickly, couldn't they? So yeah, for the manager's sake alone, it's crucial to get results over this period because you just want to calm everything down, don't you?
Yeah, if we could win 2 of the next 4, say we had a bit of everything, 2 wins, a draw and a defeat, say in this next block of 4, that'd give us another 7 points, wouldn't it? Put us on 12. Then we're going into that next international break, and then the takeover could be done near enough. I'm not saying it would be, but we could be on the final knock-ins of the takeover. We'll have the keys from Lango Raw around that same period of time. Then you start going, all of a sudden, like new owners. Now, the new owners might look and go, we want to change the manager. Now, they might not. But we'd all feel a little bit better.
Change the fitness, people.
And change the fitness, people.
I'm sorry, but what is going on?
WrestleMania. That Finch fan.
These injuries, no, genuinely, what's going on? Why did Patterson play 90 minutes 2 weeks ago when he's not in consideration? What's going on? That's nonsense, that.
And he's posting pictures of himself training all the time.
So he's either fit or he's not fit. What's going on?
Why have 2 of our players apparently got some sort of stress fracture? That's
James Garner's got a stress fracture in his back, and Tim Irabunim's done his foot.
Do you reckon Irabunum wellied them in the back and they've both
went down?
What's going on? Like, we're down to the bare bones of our squad anyway. Like, I just don't. I honestly don't get it. I honestly don't get how players are getting injured left, right, and centre. Patterson. I mean, what's the programme for Patterson then? He played 60 minutes for the under-21s, then played 90 minutes against Wolves. So surely after 2 weeks he should be ready.
Well, he played 3, didn't he? Didn't he play 3 under-21 games?
Yeah, I think so. But apparently he's not in full training. That's weird.
He said he was training, but he's not fully fit. Hasn't got true match fitness. Well, I don't know how you get to because Seamus Coleman, I love Seamus. Seamus Coleman will come back into contention now, and he hasn't. He's been injured twice already this season. He hasn't played games, has he? But he'll be considered to be starting a game of football. Like if, let's just say, and let's hope it doesn't happen, right? But let's say Ashley Young gets injured tomorrow in training, or Michalenko pulls up. Seamus Coleman will start on Saturday, and Young could go left back, wouldn't he, or whatever. Coleman hasn't played any games, had a week's training. So
the thing about it is, I wouldn't. If the manager came out and said, yeah, he's going to play an under-21s game this week, and that's like the last thing of the puzzle, then I'd get that. But it's like they just leave you in the dark.
Unless benefit of the doubt of the manager, because Patterson did have a bad hamstring injury, maybe they just want to load him with a lot of football.
Tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on.
I get it.
Rather than just, he's not ready. Well, when's he going to be ready? It's not MI5.
See, the Irabunum thing was a bit mad because he only answered that because I think it was Julia Bold asked him about James Garner, and then he went, "Oh, Tim, I never mentioned him. He's out for weeks."
Yeah.
You're like,
So they
shouldn't
went,
that have been the first one?
He's out. Oh, and by the way, it's weeks, not days.
Because it's a shock.
Yeah.
That's
That's a fresh one as well.
That should have been like the shock news. But anyway.
The only thing I can think of Patterson is maybe in the games he has played towards the end, he's been feeling a little bit of pain or tightness and waiting for that to go away.
He could, like Ped said, though, he could say, listen,
that's what I mean. He'd do himself the favour.
His workload is he needs another game. Then we can say he's ready because he had such a serious injury. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
But he'd just do himself the favour, wouldn't he, by just clarifying it and just avoiding all this noise, because then we wouldn't be talking about it, would we?
Hoyle says, Hoyle 433, who's a YouTube member, says, I'm with everyone else on getting Dyche out, but it's still on the lads to perform on the field, absolutely. I'm pretty sure Dyche is telling Tarkowski to drag players down in the area to throw away points. You mean I'm pretty sure he isn't telling Tarkowski to drag players down? Obviously he's not. Kingsley says, lots of anti-Dyche in the comments. I want him to stick around till the end of the season. We should keep him. Okay.
Is that based on performance, though, and what you think we'll accomplish with Dyche, or is it just to do with the ownership and wanting to get someone in for the start of next season?
You might just mean, well, I don't know. I can't answer for them, can I? Emma says any other club would have got rid of him with that stat. Well, yeah, listen. It is what it is, isn't it? Let's just see what happens. It's all about, like I said, players. Players have got to go and perform as well. The manager's not going to be here next season. That's almost a certainty, and it's debatable whether he'll even be here at Christmas. But right now he's Everton's manager, and regardless of who's in the dugout, those players have to go and win games of football. He's not, in all fairness to Sean Dyche, he's not at the centre of our defence giving goals away, is he? He's not missing chances at the other end of the pitch, is he?
No, and I mean, look, a lot you can criticise him for, and a lot that he has to bear on his shoulders, and that is completely justified. But yeah, he's not the one ragging players down off the ball in the boxes. He's not Jordan Pickford refusing to come off his line and challenge for balls at times where he should have. And he's not the one missing chances either. And look, still deserves a lot of criticism, I'm not denying that at all. But, you're right. The players have got an easy ride at points, haven't they? Because the manager has, again, deservedly so, got so much criticism. Maybe individual aspects of players' game and individual moments have gone a little bit under-criticised. And, of course, if you're feeling more positive and the training's better and you're getting better results because the tactics are better, players' mindsets are a bit more clear. They don't make as many mistakes, but still, you've got to be responsible for your own actions on the football pitch, haven't you? And Toffee, for example, ragging Tonali down in the box for absolutely no reason. There's nothing that justifies that. It doesn't matter how bad your manager is, how bad his tactics are. As a player, as an experienced player, you don't do that on a football pitch unless you want your team to face the consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you should never. I can't remember who it was. It was Jamie Carragher. Whether you like, man, a lot of people don't like Jamie Carragher, but I remember him saying, I never played for a manager. I played for sort of myself on the football club. Players, I know it happens. Players do need to remember that. Yes, listen, lots of them throw people under the bus. Of course they do. They throw managers under the bus. I think the problem is we all know the change is coming. We know he's not here for the longer term. He's never bought into the football club. So a lot of people are sort of just like, well, what's the point then? Because I think it feels like people want to be able to back something and get on board with something. And therefore, you almost are going, well, let's get to that point then. Choose your next manager who you're backing as an ownership, and we'll all get behind it and go there then. Do you know what I mean? For a lot of people, like if it's said the ownership isn't done until, it can't be completed till May, then I would get people going, well, you may as well just keep the manager till May then. We can't, you know what I mean? Unless, obviously, we get to Christmas and we're in the bottom 3, you sack him. Of course you do. Even if we don't win the next couple of games, he'll be sacked. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, I think you're right about people wanting to buy into something. You go back to Lampard, for example, and look, Lampard's results and his tactics weren't good enough, and he had to go at the end of the day. But I've got to think, especially when, like, the early days of him coming in, people really wanted to buy into Lampard, and a lot of people did. And, you know, he had a lot of love from the fan base. He was on banners. He was on banners. Sean Dyche's been here a lot longer, and he's not been on banners because he hasn't bought into the football club. I'm not saying that makes Frank Lampard a better manager, by the way, but I'm saying people really did. They felt like they could potentially believe under Lampard, and because we've been desperate for that. Before him, it was Benitez, who we were never buying into.
No.
And before that, Ancelotti we did buy into, and I think, you know, we were hurt there, weren't we? Because obviously Madrid came calling, and why you can't blame them for getting off. You think, oh, we've got Ancelotti, it's going to be brilliant, it's going to be here for years. Yeah, and obviously that didn't go the way it did. And when this current manager came in, it was generally accepted that, yeah, he's here to do his job, which is keep a team in the Premier League. He's not a long-term manager. He's not a manager you build a club around. He was you couldn't argue with the logic behind that hire at the time, especially with what we were working with, didn't have any money. We had a different ownership situation hanging over us at that time as well, and everything felt quite perilous. We knew the inquiry over the PSR breach was going to be coming up as well, so it was... He fit the job description at the time in terms of what we needed, but we all knew this isn't the future of Everton. This is Everton's safety protocol. Yeah. This isn't Everton's long-term plan. Yeah. And I think you're right. I think whoever does come in is going to have that backing, of especially under new ownership, and even if it is at the start of next season, it is going to be, oh, come on, hopefully this will be the one. Hopefully this will be the one we build with and we grow with, and he buys into the football club, and we can sing his name like we did for Lampard at a brief time, like we did for Ancelotti while we were actually loud in the ground while he was here, like we did for Martinez before him for a period, and for Moyes for years. Someone who we can really accept into the fabric of our football club.
Yeah. Daniel says, good luck, Jack, on your new job.
Nice one, mate.
Lynn says, won't be tuning in for Round the Tower live, but if Jack isn't dressed as a dolphin at some point, I'm going to be very disappointed. Good luck in your new job, Jack. Hope it's something that allows equal measures of seriousness and fun, because you seem to be pretty good at that. Gary Ward says, best of luck with your new endeavours, Jack.
Nice one, Gary.
Matt Gibson says, afternoon on the sad day of Jack's departure. Fully expect him and Ned back as special guests to discuss the new manager as soon as this fella is finally gone, for the love of God. Steve P says, he will come in. Steve P says, Deitch talks like someone who's trying to sell you an online self-help programme. I'm hoping for a foreign manager next, because all these English ones just waffle like politicians. It's unbearable to listen to. Tom Dobbo says, we're Everton fans, we need the help. But you're right, I'm not a fan of how he talks, some weird things. Buck says, good luck, Jack. Steve Thomas, all the best, Jack. And remember, if you see that snail, walk for your life.
Yeah.
Bill says, good luck, Jack. Always appreciated your insight. Very level-headed and wise beyond your years. You want to be in here and say that. No, yes, good lad. Mark says, last time he beat Ipswich, Marco Materazzi was playing. But who scored the goal? FA Cup, wasn't it? Wasn't it FA Cup? Because last time they were in the Premier League, they beat us. They definitely beat. We haven't beat them in the Premier League since '95 when Rideout scored, I think. I think the last time they beat us, I'm going to say it was Nick Barmby in the FA Cup. Mightn't have been Nick Barmby. Nick Barmby beat them in the FA Cup, I think. So Materazzi was able to be 99 then. I'm going to say Barmby scored, but I might be massively wrong on that.
Last time we beat them was 99 in the FA Cup.
Nick Barmby?
I don't have the score on this, so I'll find it. Time before that, beat them in the Premier League in 95.
All right, he stayed up.
Played them 4 times since then. 2000, 2001 twice, and 2002 lost 3, drew 1.
2002? I was coming back from Florida, got home from Orlando on that Saturday morning. So jet lagged, got myself to the match, and we got beat 3-0 at home. Marcus Stewart scored. We got destroyed. Marcus Stewart had the ball in our box for about 10 seconds on his own, while he just took the piss and then just rolled it in. They beat us 3-0. Paul Robinson, don't want to make you feel, says, are Everton staff aware that fitness and injury recovery has moved beyond the magic sponge in a bucket of cold water? Good for you, Pat. Benjamin says, good luck, Jack, in your next job, looking for Soprano Jack later on. And also says we need to get some points on the board because when it comes to December, there are some bad games. Correct. Jay says, why did he say there's 3 very good defenders ahead of O'Brien? No, Sean, you have one very, very good defender, one old warhorse, and one who's scared of his own shadow. He also says Patterson is never playing under this Pratt. We need to get our heads around that. Sooner Deitch is binned, the better. Okay.
It was Nick Barmby in 99.
It was Nick Barmby.
Yeah.
Ross says, good luck to Jack in his new job, being a fantastic guest. We'll miss his good chat and his eloquent pronunciation of Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I thought it was going to be a Ghana Gay because remember that was the original one.
That was the original one, yeah. Bill says, agree, the fitness is a joke. Serious questions need asking. Mark Mack says, the managing of Dele Alli's fitness is the biggest question mark. None of our players are injured in the games. It's in training. Where is Dele? Because wasn't he undertaking... Listen, I'm not saying he's ever going to come back, but wasn't he undertaking a games programme in August or September?
He's swimming with the fishes.
Well, you know what I mean?
I mean, the other week, there was news of another minor setback, weren't there? And I appreciate with Dele, it probably is more difficult than some of the others because obviously he's coming off a bigger layoff. But yeah, again, it's still a weird one, isn't it?
I'm not saying he's ever coming back for Everton, by the way. I'm just saying... I just find it mad. I find it mad that it's always shrouded in secrecy.
That's my whole point with all the injuries, though. Yeah. It's all shrouded with injury. It's if the manager comes on and says this player's out for 87 weeks, sad. You know where you are, don't you? But when he doesn't give you any information and then goes, completely forgot that someone's broke his leg in 7 places. Do you know what I mean? That's what pisses me off as a fan. It's your job. These press conferences, your job to give us the information. You know, give a bloody fact sheet out before it starts so everyone knows in the room and then people can go, how come Tim's out for 87 weeks? You know what I mean? Dude, that
fell off the assault course.
Bill says, what kind of training do they do? It's a new injury every week. Gone from having midfield options to being thin on the ground. Tom Mack says, I'd love to see a journalist present that stat to him about 6 wins in 10 months. Let's see his reaction. It isn't acceptable at any level.
I think you'd get every catchphrase in the books.
I don't think you'd be allowed to. I think you'd say
if you went rogue though, and if you did it, I think you go, the nuts and bolts of what was it?
You'd be banned.
Of just getting our true match fitness.
Benjamin James says, one thing I'd like to know is how we can go from one of the best defences in the country to this shower. I can accept a small drop off if we overperform, but this is ridiculous.
Because it was built entirely around or largely on the performance of one man. And his name is Jared Branthwaite, and he's been injured. And yeah, defensive football, but relying on the quality of one player isn't very sustainable. The best teams who are defensively solid can maintain around a similar level, even if they have got injuries and don't have the best players. That's why his Burnley team were impressive. They didn't have loads of quality at the back. He had Michael Keane and Ben Mee. He had Phil Bardsley at right back at times, who was about 58, but they kept a decent defensive record because they were generally decently organised. At Everton was so reliant on Jared Branthwaite, and it shows.
Yeah. John Chadwick said, just finished watching Inside the Game with Adrian Heath, and he put it, and he never finished what he was going to say. I'm hoping you were going to say it was really good, John. Mark Max says, fair play, Baz, Nick Barmby, you were right. James McKenna says, Baz, they beat us 3-0 in Goodison the year they came back. So it was September 2000 then, because it was, because I'd been to me mate's wedding in Florida, and I come back, I got off the plane that morning, come home, and it was Marcus Stewart got to John McGrail, John McGrail, I played against, scored that day as well. I think Marcus Stewart got 2. Matt Holland beat us scored the next time. Oh no, he ran the show, but when they beat us 2-1 under George Bailey at Goodison. I think it might be the last time he played.
2002.
And Matt Holland scored, and he was brilliant. Smashed one in the street end, an absolute belter. Mad. Benjamin James says, let's get it right. Everything went tits up when the Spanish waiter turned up. The Hadjuk case started it, didn't it? That started it. Then picking advertising boards up and launching them something like 31 minutes into a game at Goodison when nothing had really happened was a bit of an indicator. It was
a dark omen, wasn't it?
Well, it was a bit of an indicator that they weren't,
very friendly.
They weren't happy and they weren't friendly. They went for us.
No offence to any Hadjuk split fans who.
No, they're great. Watching. Just don't curse us.
Yeah, just if
we're just having a game of footy.
If let us know how we break the curse. Is it we just need to move out of Goodison? Is it Goodison?
I think Goodison was cursed. I've said for ages, get everyone to piss on the post at Goodison for the last season. Like start winning games.
Burn some sage.
Get sage in. Get a Catholic priest, a Church of England, every religion. Get them in there. Just have a chat. Give them whatever they need.
Yeah.
Just do everything you can because it is grim. It's grim. Where are we? Kingsley said, I think we need to show a little respect and appreciation for the job Dyche has done. Relegation in the last few years could have truly destroyed the club as an organisation.
And look, I get what they're saying because he was brought in and what he was told was keep this club in the Premier League and he's done that, and it would have been absolutely terrible. And last season with the points deduction, our backs were against the wall and we stayed up. I appreciate that, but it's not just looking at the points totals with the manager. It's looking at the sustainability of how we're doing it and going, we've got off with one there. And especially when you look at how poor the relegated teams were last season. In other years, we could have struggled a lot more. And look, you beat what's in front of you, you play what's in front of you, to completely take that. You got a good points tally last season, all things considered. We did ride our luck at periods as well, though. And long term, if you want to be safe long term, you can't rely on a little flurry at the end of the season because that's what Wigan did for the longest time under Martinez, and eventually they just couldn't get that run of games at the end of the season and get those results. You need to be better than that. You need to be more consistent.
Yeah. Barry Basin says, good luck, Jack. We'll miss you, lad.
Nice one.
I'll just need another one for you. But, John McCulloch says, Jack, when you start your new job, make sure you really get a good feel of the nuts and bolts. It's advice.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like something HR might have something to say about. It's like, what are you doing there? Just getting a good feel of the nuts and bolts.
Getting the nuts and bolts. Dyche hates wingers. Says if Dyche is still here come January, I hope he's not given any funds because he'll just waste it. We don't need a fifth choice centre half and another 39-year-old from Burnley. Okay. Chris Brophy says Dyche's old favourites return against Ipswich. God help us. Sophie says all the best, Jack. Sophie's a YouTube member. Also says Sophie also says must be Guy and Mangala in midfield on Saturday then.
Yeah,
unless Decore used Decore and Mangala at Leicester, didn't he? So
and Newcastle.
So it could well be them.
But then Gay's not been available, has he, for a couple of them games? As he's obviously away with his family, wasn't he? So
we'll see, won't we? We'll. He can only pick what he's got available, won't he? He's not going to play Harrison Armstrong because he he likes him, but he's not going to put him in. So you are left with Mangala, Idrissa or Decore to play that role. And Dwight McNeil ahead of him. In GI, Harrison, that's what he'll go for, won't he?
Yeah.
So that's what it'll be.
You know what I just do find weird with the injuries as well is last season we had a decent injury record. I think we actually had one of the better ones in the league. We didn't miss that many players. We had a smaller squad, so we felt it more if we did lose a player. But overall, we don't think we ever had that many injuries at one period. So it's like, is it just bad luck that it's changed? Or if not, what has changed? What are you doing differently this year that is really ramped up these injuries? Because, and yeah, 2 separate players in the squad having fractures. I know with Garner it has been a little bit of a recurring problem, but for Irabunum, that's come out of nowhere as well. That must have happened, yesterday?
Training, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that it is. That's the frustration. They're not happening in games, are they? They're happening in, Patterson's was at Chelsea last year, but in general, it seems to be the majority of them seem to be away from the pitch.
Branthwaite was as well, wasn't it?
Branthwaite played and then trained and then got injured and all of that. So we'll see. Abby says, Abby's a YouTube member, says maybe these new injuries could help Whittaker, Benjamin, Sheriff, Dixon and Heath. Good luck with your new job, Jack. You're an asset to anyone.
Thank you.
I hope to be up in Liverpool in the new year. Might bump into you. There you go. Try and get where Jack's going to be up and see if you can bump into him.
That sounds a little bit like a threat, though, to be honest. Yeah. Going to be here in December. I might run into, hey, flippity flip.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see Whittaker, Benjamin, Sheriff or Heath being involved, to be honest. That Dixon, maybe, but not yet. Ganymede says, have a great time in your new job, Jack. Good luck, lad. Yeah.
You wouldn't be saying that if you knew what he was doing.
Amputee Kenny, who was in the other week, of course, from Barbados. No, it wasn't, from Bermuda even. I apologise, Bermuda. Says all the best, Jack.
Nice one.
Mark says all the best with your new job, Jack. Andy Goff, who's a YouTube member, says good luck, Jack. Your knowledge and insight will be missed. I feel like that's an overstatement. Only messing. Mark says hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more. And Chris Davies says Jack leaving Toffee TV feels like when Kanchelskis left us. That's big shit.
That's a big pressure to carry. You've got to, I appreciate it, but I'm no Kanchelskis, you know what I mean? View me as Manuel Fernandez. See here for a short period, but left an impression.
Yeah, left an impression.
People wanted him to stay, but it just didn't work with what's going on. And
he'd already agreed to do something else. Steve says Ned's going apparently too. Ned is going.
Yeah.
Ned is. The young whippersnappers are moving on.
When you bring in Ned's replacements eventually, could you just maybe leak it to the press, whatever the name is, and let it build up so all the comments on the videos are announced. I don't know, announce Dave.
Yeah,
announce Dave. And then you could do a fancy video with that mold on the top that says Dave Toffee TV.
A reveal video.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Announce Dave.
Good. It sounds good.
Other names are available.
Hack on, a YouTube member says Ned and Jack sounds like an Everton transfer window. Steve says, what's Jack's new job then? He's not at liberty to say.
Yeah.
No.
Is he? Signed an NDA. John McCulloch says, who's replacing Jack? Nobody. Yeah, anyway.
Switching to a different formation, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what it is. Hoyle, who's a YouTube member, says, Jack, you calling a 4-4 result again at the weekend? Lost me a tenner last time I went with your score prediction. But all the best, matey.
What did I pick 4-4 for? 4-4-4. That must have been the Champions League game or something, or
who knows?
Maybe a Brighton game. I don't know. I'm sorry. Don't take advice from me, though, is what I'd say. Listen, I've not won a bet for years, so often do the opposite of what I say.
It's like to do exactly the opposite. Listen to it and go, right, Mr. Flipper's told this.
That's what not to do.
Mr. Flippery Flip.
That's why the family are after you.
The family aren't pleased with you, Jackie. You'd have to call you Jackie.
You lost me $10.
It is a sad day. It's a sad day for Jackery Jack. But what can you do? When the dollars come, he's gone for the money. Let's have it right. Benjamin says, because of Jack, I bought that limited edition Ajax shirt dedicated to Bob Marley. It's a smart shirt.
Oh, it's a cracking top, that, isn't it?
There you go. Matt Hector really likes it. Says, Jack, it's sad to see you go. You should consider starting your own YouTube channel, even if you're just making videos with your phone. It'd be great to see your regular insights on football.
Or couldn't he just do the same thing for us?
But that would...
Well, he's saying I should go it alone.
Yeah, I think you should. And then we can all laugh at you when you've got 11 subscribers and you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Feels harsh.
Maybe I should just...
Well, he hasn't offered to do that for us, has he?
You haven't asked me to either.
Well,
I could just...
What did I say to you months ago? Do whatever you want, Jack. And you went, oh, yeah, I'll have a think. He's never thought. You're just that...
I need instruction.
You do. Very much need to be spoon-fed, and then you're good.
I'm like Adel Tarapt for QPR.
Ah, yes, that's what it is.
Skillful, but needs direction, needs regular coaching, needs to tell him what to do. Left to my own devices, I'm very much useless.
Mark Mack says, good luck, Jack. Don't say anything too stupid on Round the Tower so your new HR pulls you in for questions on day one.
Listen, if I say something on Round the Tower that ends up getting me in trouble, I'm going to deny that's me. I'm going to say that was Mr. Flipper.
So it was AI?
Yeah, it was AI. Looking at modern world, it can't be ruled out.
Mr. Flipper deep faked me.
Yeah.
That's what you say.
The dolphin mob.
That's gonna be Ned's thing. You know?
Well, yeah, that's what Ned's going to have to walk into, and he's going to go into his new job, and his new boss is going to say, right, son, it's this you, and just play him a file worth of videos from Round the Tower clips.
Yeah, definitely. That's horrible, Ned. Emma says, Ned and Jack teaming up to rival Toffee TV. I hope so. Let's get it on.
We've stole the intellectual property.
We've
see. Got the password.
No, let's see it. Let's see what you can do.
But we're going to log you in head out. We're going to take John Blaine with us to handle the numbers side of things. And we're going to leave you in Ped.
I'd love to see where you'll end up. I'd love to see if you could hack this for 10 years.
No.
It's not a chance, is there? But no, listen. It has been a pleasure, Jack. Been a pleasure. Hopefully you'll get in from time to time.
Yeah, I'm aiming to. I'd like to. It'd be good to keep my hand in and, maybe down the line do some content in different ways as well, like potentially from home as well. But
yeah, do whatever you want, mate.
Yeah.
We'll keep you in the family.
I'd just like to say thank you to the family for bringing me in. Giving me my stripes.
I ain't no snitch.
Oh, God.
It's been a great journey.
It has.
It has been. It's been incredible.
Yeah. All good things come to an end, don't they? Apparently.
So I've been told.
Well, so they say, yeah.
Never fall in love with a lone player.
No, that's it, mate. That is it. It's a rule. It's a, it's just there, isn't it? The tale as old as time.
Unless they've got a buy option.
Yeah, then of course. Different. And that's probably where we were a bit naive. We entered into an agreement with no purchase option. Do you know what I mean?
Well, some say the agreement was entered after my purchase option had already
That's what some say, but your agent didn't.
John Blaine's my agent.
Well, John Blaine double agented us then, didn't he?
Sides.
Blaine's,
Blained us off.
Don't it? Let John Blaine. James Graham says, good luck, Jack. Hope to see you back.
Nice one.
Yeah, absolutely. And M says, get Amanda Holden, please. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just for anything. Just for anything.
Get her in.
Right. Thank you, everybody who's joined today. Don't forget, round, if you are a Toffee TV Premier member, you get another look at Jack, listening to Jack's intellectualness later on with Round the Tower when him and Ned are a partnership for the last time on Round the Tower. I am petrified, I'm not going to lie.
One last dance.
It is the last dance. I am nervous, I must say. Not so much for Ned. I think I'll be nervous in 2 weeks when Ned leaves for what he'll do.
God, he's going to set a nuke off.
It's making me slightly. I'm going to have to be on me metal because you've been threatening me with a question all week. So I'm thinking, what is happening? So if you're a Toffee TV Premier member, you can catch him later on that. If you're not, we'll see you all tomorrow. Make sure you check out Inside.
Tomorrow. You're off.
Oh, wait, I'm off tomorrow. You'll see Ped tomorrow and Ned and John. John Blaine. Make sure you check out the Adrian Heath Inside the Game podcast. Brilliant. Lots on Everton, lots on other stuff as well. Take care, everybody. See you all later.